Jupiter, the planet of expansion, good luck, optimism, and abundance, sextile Saturn, the planet of restriction, karma, hard work, duties, and realism on Monday, June 19th, encouraging steady progress, offering opportunities to lead, step up, and become an authority figure, as well as a lovely period to start new projects. Let's take a closer look at this exciting transit and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive astrology. If you'd like to work with me, you can book a reading at anastasia.astrology.com. There are links down below. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave me a like or a comment. All of that is really appreciated and it helps bring my content to more people. So before we dive in, I wanted to let you know that if you like my work, you can also become a subscriber. For that, visit my website and check out the plans and subscriptions I'm offering. You can get, most popular one is the monthly horoscope one, where I send you a written breakdown of the month ahead, specifically tailored to your natal chart. And I'd like to highlight my Jupiter in Pisces candle. These are almost sold out. I only have maybe 5 left of them, maybe even less. It's very unique. Jupiter was in Pisces in 2022 and 2021. I captured this one in 2022. It's not going to be back in Pisces until 2033, I believe. So if you have been struggling with Saturn and Pisces in terms of having feelings that are hard to process, or kind of struggling to get yourself oriented and focused, I would highly recommend this one, as well as Saturn in Aquarius candle. This one was created last year as well. Or actually, no, this one was created early 2023. And it has Venus in Aquarius conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. So it's a more productive Saturn. I forgot for a second when I created my candle. I have 8 of them at this point, if not 9. So they start to sort of mix and match in my head. But thank you for listening. This transit is exact on Monday, June 19th, but due to a very slow moving nature of the two of these planets, they will stay pretty close for actually most of this year, but specifically you will start to feel the energy of this transit is in the air already. It started approximately around June 4th, lasts very closely within that 3-degree orb that we astrologers really like, lasts about until July 4th. So it's a long-lasting transit, right? And it's what's exciting to me is that this is the first aspect Jupiter and Saturn are making after the Great Conjunction. If you've been following astrology for a while, you know that in late 2020, in December 2020, we had the Great Conjunction, which is something that happens once every 20 years. It's Jupiter and Saturn coming together and ushering us into a new era. That was specifically the start of conjunctions happening in air signs, suggesting new beginnings that are of Aquarian nature. It is different from the age of Aquarius, but it definitely brought up some of the topics connected to Aquarius. New beginnings in society, in the way we do work, in the way we do our everyday life, right? So we had that Great Conjunction, which is the start of a 20-year-long cycle. And you can think of it as the new moon. When the sun and moon come together, it's the time to set intentions, the time to plant seeds of new beginnings. So we had the Great Conjunction in late 2020, and now we have a sextile between the two of them. And sextile is a very harmonious aspect. It's of nature, of Venus, and it helps planets work together and sort of align together. You can also think of it as the crescent moon. We had the conjunction is the new moon, it's dark, it's the inception of something, and this is a crescent moon, so it starts to take shape, it starts to take form. So pretty exciting, harmonious aspect. I apologize for the sounds of New York if you can hear this. It's very loud. I don't know what it is. But if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that the sounds of New York are my supporting character over here. So let's talk about Jupiter and Saturn separately. Jupiter and Saturn are like two sides of the same coin. They both want you to grow. They both are progress oriented, but Jupiter is a lot more optimistic. Jupiter is like your friendly uncle who maybe is sometimes drunk, sometimes too loud. Jupiter is big. Jupiter is jolly. It's optimistic. It's reassuring. It believes that things will get better. Jupiter is just like that exuberant faith and optimism, and Jupiter wants to grow, it wants to inspire, it wants to do a lot of things. Sometimes it can overdo things. Now Saturn is the stern grandfather, doesn't it? It's helpful to imagine these guys as the characters in a family drama. So Saturn is the stern grandpa. Saturn has seen a lot, has been through a lot, and he's a lot more realistic. He's also a lot more protective. But if you are more of a Jupiterian nature, let's say you are a Sag rising with Jupiter in Sagittarius, you may find Saturnian influences to be too kind of stiff and stubborn or too restrictive, right? But in reality, Saturn rules boundaries, and a lot of the boundaries that seemingly stop us, like an end of a relationship, they sometimes actually build us up and encourage us to grow. Funny story about myself, I have started pursuing astrology and kind of building up my Instagram following fresh after a breakup when I was in a tough place emotionally. It was like 3 years ago at this point, I guess. And that was the time when I was like, I had a lot of energy, a lot of upset energy, and I decided to dedicate it into this. And you're watching me now, and look how far I've come, and there's more to go. So Saturn is that maybe harsher side of life, but Saturn will help you grow through making steps. Jupiter is like, yeah, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be great. Saturn is like, no, you have to make a plan. So when the two come together, we have progress, but progress that are slow and steady. It's still progress, but it's not the fastest, right? It's not potentially Jupiter and Mars. Jupiter is like, let's expand. Mars is like, let's go faster. Saturn will encourage you to take it easy, take it slowly. Another interesting part about this sextile is they're both in strong Venusian signs. Jupiter is in Taurus. It's the sign ruled by Venus. And Saturn is in Pisces. It's the sign that exalts Venus. So around this time, Venusian questions can be growing even more. So relationships, connection, love, marriage, creativity. It's the time to pursue those areas of life, to green light those areas of life. If you've been waiting to start your business, do it. No, do not wait anymore. But of course, it's Saturnian transit, so it doesn't hurt to be steady. Another thing that is kind of fun here is that Saturn is ruled by Jupiter. So not only they are saying hello to each other for the first time since late 2020, Saturn is in the home of Jupiter right now. And the ruler of Jupiter is Venus in Leo. So even more energy towards self-expression, creativity, joy, fun, art, right? So it's very lovely, and like I said, it lasts for about a month, even though it begins. Basically, Saturn is stationing retrograde, right? Right now, in a couple of days. I'm filming it on June 15th, and Saturn goes retrograde on the 17th. So Jupiter is moving. Jupiter is kind of, aspecting Saturn. Saturn is slowing down. Jupiter is going to go retrograde in a little bit. So these two will continue interacting. So it's a pretty positive energy, but it's not fireworks quick energy. So you have to be patient. So some of the things we can expect are steady progress, as mentioned before. Realistic growth, realistic attitudes towards progress and expansion. There might be chances and opportunities coming in your way, and your mindset is very stable and steady and rational, so you're likely to be strategic about those opportunities. You're not, it's two things, right? It's slow progress, but it's also in part due to your own more serious and productive and future long-term oriented nature. You can receive opportunities connected to Jupiter or Saturn or Venus, like I said. So romantic, relationship, connection, starting group projects, professional growth. Jupiter rules travel, education, so you may be pursuing those areas of life, as well as anything that deals with connection, partnerships that are of business or romantic nature. The more patient you are, the more hardworking you are, the better it is, the more likely success will come your way. So get your pens and pencils out, journal in your planner. I am actually working on creating a planner for 2024, so wish me good luck. That's my personal project for the next few months. So it's big, it's scary, it's exciting, it's a lot of different things. But definitely requires patience and perseverance. If you're working on something large and massive that might take you the next few months, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. So staying patient, being more rational, being more serious are definitely all signs of this transit. It's not a quick project. Like I said, it's something that you're planting right now that will take a while to grow. So maybe you're starting a business that deals with consulting other people. Maybe you're working with your first client, right? And you're doing a lot of research and it's a very slow process, but you know that you're laying foundations for a long future where you will get a chance to reuse this knowledge and recycle this knowledge time and time again. So really lovely for long-term achievement, something you'll enjoy for a long time. Opportunities to show up as a Jupiterian or Saturnian figure, which is a leader, a mentor, a teacher, an authority, are highly likely as well. And it's a great time for any kind of long-term financial decisions. So starting a savings account, starting a business, investing into a big purchase like a property or a car, something like that. Just making investments because you benefit from that desire to grow, but also a calm, rational mind. So a really, really lovely period for a lot of different things. Now let's break it down for all 12 signs. I recommend listening for your rising sign, but of course you can also listen for your sun or moon. If you are Aries rising, Jupiter is currently in your second house, going to sextile Saturn in the 12th. And there's a couple of ways I see this manifesting. Saturn being in your 12th house can represent serious progress when it comes to healing. It could be your healing or it could be healing of somebody in your life. 12th house deals with self-defeating, self-destructive tendencies, and that could sometimes represent addictive behavior, escapist tendencies, bad habits like gambling, something that is not really healthy for you. So Saturn is actually in its joy in the 12th house. So when you get Saturn in the 12th house, it could be the time for you to say no to something. It's a really lovely period to volunteer or to sort through any distractive behaviors you have. And together with Jupiter in the second house, I feel like you're either getting a chance to invest into it, maybe you're financially investing into your well-being, or you're also getting a chance to start to feel better about yourself, because it ultimately can be an opportunity to work on a better self-worth, better kind of optimism and believing in yourself. And a lot of times this could mean looking at your past, examining kind of the kernels, the beginnings of that bad habit or a bad feeling or a negative thing you tell yourself. Maybe you doubt your beauty, maybe you doubt your professional success, whatever it might be. This is your opportunity to start therapy, to start journaling, saying kind of positive things to yourself. And another way I can see this manifesting is because Jupiter is currently in your second house, and it is self-worth, but it's also money. So Jupiter in the second house can be very beneficial for you financially. And with the sextile to Saturn in the 12th, it's a chance to perhaps pursue a healing career, embrace different role in the world. Could also be a chance to show up in a more spiritual context. Maybe you are guiding other people, maybe you're helping other people, maybe you're becoming a yoga teacher, or even 12th house rules imaginative type of work. So making money through your hidden talents, through the gifts that you haven't explored, and getting a chance to explore them could be lovely right now. For Taurus risings, Jupiter is currently in your first house, blessing you with optimism and courage and a chance to reinvent yourself. And it's about to sextile Saturn in your 11th house. And what is 11th house? 11th house is our networks, it's our friendships, it's our connections. So here you're getting a really lovely flow between you and your goals and people in your life. And maybe you're meeting new people. Maybe you're connecting with people who feel more aligned. Maybe you are looking at your existing network and starting new projects with them, or starting new ventures, right? Like a business together with a friend. There might also be insights coming through your community or opportunities coming through your friends. Definitely lovely time to assert yourself, to become a Saturnian figure in the collective. Maybe you are starting to do work that benefits other people somehow. Maybe you're starting to volunteer. Maybe you're becoming a teacher or a mentor. Do not shy away from opportunities to lead or to connect with people. Ask yourself, are you happy with your friendships? Are you happy with your surrounding groups that you belong to? And maybe it's the time to go and ask for connection, right? Or ask for new beginnings. And let me know if this resonates in the comments below. If you are a Gemini rising, Jupiter is currently in your 12th house of spirituality, mental health, well-being, rest, peace, imagination, and it's sextile Saturn in the 10th house of career. So this is kind of exciting, I think, because you are getting to reimagine your career. You're getting to take small, slow, and steady steps towards perhaps something Jupiterian, right? Maybe you're working on opportunities that are more creative, that are more imaginative, that are more spiritual. My Gemini rising friend is starting a spiritual, actually she already started a spiritual YouTube channel. She's exploring how we connect to nature, and kind of gravitates a lot more towards nature and spiritual things, right, that are very important to us, to all of us here at least. So changes to career that either bring more spiritual, imaginative, creative energy, or professional changes that, and those do not exclude one another, but professional changes that also allow for more peace. 12th house ultimately is peace. It's escape, right? So you're maybe exploring healthy ways of escaping. But with Jupiter in the 12th, there's definitely an energy of wanting to heal, wanting to shine light on the more complicated topics in life, to become a figure of inspiration for other people. I can also see professional opportunities that deal with travel and maybe healing other people. I know I've been saying that, but 12th house is classically the place of mental institutions, hospitals, so you can also be exploring new beginnings professionally in that regard. And tell me how it's playing out in your life down below. For Cancer risings, Jupiter in the 11th house, sextile Saturn in the 9th. Jupiter is in its joy in the 11th house. It's quite a good place to have Jupiter in for a year that just started in May. You're getting a full year of Jupiter in Taurus. So beautiful for partnerships, beautiful for friendships, and putting yourself out there, connecting with new people. Lovely for social media. If you're someone thinking of going on social media and maybe teaching, because Jupiter is sextiling Saturn in the 9th, If you've been thinking of bringing your knowledge and starting to share it, this is a really great time to start a page where maybe you post kernels of your wisdom. Or maybe you're starting to study. Maybe you're basically, Jupiter in the 11th would want you to connect with new people and would want you to explore new dreams. And together with Saturn in the 9th, you're getting ready to do some hard work that will get you there. And that could mean filing a legal document, or that could mean going to school where you will spend the next 2 years studying, or starting a business, starting like a teaching program where you have to develop the course and you have to dedicate a lot of time to making it happen, right? It's not quick, but there's definitely an opportunity to put yourself out there, to embrace a different role in the collective, and to follow a new dream and make some new friendships in the process. So it's exciting. Maybe even you're traveling or moving, and let me know if that's the case. If you are a Leo rising, Jupiter is currently in your 10th house and it's about to sextile Saturn in the 8th. Lovely time for any investments connected to career. And those investments don't have to be just financial investments. Maybe you are exploring your connections and asking them for a referral, right? Asking them who they know and reaching out for some kind of resource, because Jupiter in the 10th house wants you to grow professionally, or just even if you're not someone who's actively in the workforce, but you still have something you're known for in the world. Maybe you are a board president of your building. Maybe you are a parent that kind of manages toddlers, like a classroom parent or whatever. Jupiter in the 10th wants you to take on a professional or a social role that is more up to par, that's more authentic, that's more enjoyable, right? Becoming a teacher, becoming an influencer of some sort. It doesn't have to be the social media one. And Saturn in the 8th is saying that there's financial matters you have to figure out, there is resources you need, and take small steps, right? Like think of what connections can be helpful to you, what kind of even if it means talking to your friend who's good at time management, right? This could be like a small step, or talking to a financial advisor, because Saturn in the 8th could be an implication of having debts that you have to address and have to pay. If you are making big investments, this could be a good time for investing in your business, for, kind of, or even talking to your boss and asking them to pay off your loan or something like that, I can see. And that's, of course, very optimistic on my part, but we are talking about Jupiter aspecting Saturn. Financial actions that benefit your career, personal actions, debts that help you grow, right? Connections, relationships that help you find freedom. Slow steps when it comes to getting out of debt and getting more independence when it comes to your career and your pursuits. And let me know how this resonates in the comments below. If you are a Virgo rising, we have Jupiter in the 9th, sextiling Saturn in the 7th. Jupiter in the 9th wants to travel. It wants to start travel projects. It wants to teach or study. It wants to write, right? And with Saturn in the 7th, you have this serious approach to partnerships and relationships, and you can actually start some partnerships that help you get those Jupiterian goals. Maybe you sit down with your spouse and you make a plan of how to get you back to school, right? Or how to run the household while you are in school. Kind of being very thoughtful and organized when it comes to those matters is important. Or you start a business with your spouse or a teacher or a mentor, because there's an energy exchange between the house of relationships that are very deep, intimate, and personal, and the house of like growth and expansion. So a lovely time for any partnerships, for any joint ventures, for any kind of travel or education undertaking. And even even exploring maybe your foreign connections and talking to people who have more experience than you in order to get to pick their brains on stuff. If you are a Libra rising, we have Jupiter in your 8th house, sextiling Saturn in the 6th. This feels very health and work oriented for my Libra risings, because Jupiter in the 8th should be beneficial for you financially. And please do let me know, have you noticed Jupiter in the 8th being financially supportive? I think my business has been going sort of steadily, but steadily is good, right? It's better to be steady versus like have crazy dips. And I'm a Libra rising, as many of you know. But Jupiter in the 8th could bring financial benefits. It's sextile Saturn in the 6th, so it says no cake without baking, right? It says that you have to take time, you have to dedicate energy to making this vision happen for you. Very much, very clear kind of connection. Do the work, Saturn says, get the cake. Maybe I need to go get some cake today, is what this is saying to me, I think. But lovely opportunities to work on passion projects that can be financially beneficial, even a chance to do a renovation project or to do some kind of spring cleaning that brings you results, right? Maybe you're renting your apartment and you need to get it in rentable shape. A chance to start a partnership or pay off a debt that will take some time but will bring good results and will require a lot of work. And 6th house is very much the house of well-being. It's the house of health. And 8th house deals with kind of like mental health and transformations we go through. So another way this could manifest is very much taking action to bring better energy into your life. And please share with me how this resonates, and also how has this last week been for you, because the week of June 12th, 13th has been, we have Gemini planets, the Sun and Mercury aspecting Pisces planets, Saturn and Neptune, and it feels a little bit like there's these ideas, at least for me, it feels like there's exciting things, but it's also confusing, and there's also a lot of desire to escape. So with this positive aspect, I think starting small, starting with making a schedule, getting yourself ready for the long marathon type undertaking, and getting your health, making your health a priority could be some of the important aspects. And I'm looking forward to hearing how this resonates in the comments below. If you are a Scorpio rising, we have Jupiter in your 7th house, sextiling Saturn in the 5th. And with Saturn in the 5th, you've been addressing some karma connected to children, some self-expression projects you've been working on potentially, or finding ways to be creative, and maybe creativity felt a little bit stagnant or harder to access. With Jupiter in the 7th house, you can get support from your partner. This could be a chance to either start a partnership with someone, or maybe reconsider, kind of arrange, readjust your relationship in order to give you more help. Perhaps you're starting a business and you're also married, and your partner offers to kind of pick up your kids so that you can take some time to pursue your business. Just a sec. This is also a beautiful time for having a child or working on birthing a child in partnership, and take the child as you like. It could be a literal child, right? For some of Scorpio risings, maybe you are planning to get pregnant, maybe you're having serious conversations about pregnancy. And with this aspect, it's very much about like, well, okay, we have a vision, how do we get there? And if it's not an actual child, it can also be a business project. It could be a creative project that you're working on and trying to figure out how to realistically make it happen is the big theme of this transit. So I definitely see this as opportunities to partner up, as interesting insights coming to you through other people, and ultimately leading to more joy, more creative freedom, and pregnancy, or a better relationship with your children. That is a possibility as well. If you are a Sagittarius rising, Jupiter in the 6th house will sextile Saturn in the 4th, the energy that is felt pretty much the entire month of June, but goes exact on Monday, June 19th. And here we get Saturn in the 4th is bringing a lot of attention to your home, family, and living situation, whether you are fixing up your home or moving or renovating or even sorting through past family karma. And Jupiter in the 6th can actually bring you some answers. So if we're talking about, getting the house ready for sale, this could be a time, maybe with Jupiter in the 6th house, you get a solution. You get introduced to a contractor or a plumber, and you're getting ready to get things moving, right? Maybe it's the time when you start a big spring cleaning project, right? It's the last week of spring in the world that considers summer starting with Cancer season on June 21st. So doing some kind of cleaning, doing some kind of organization could be lovely, as well as healing or organizing your mind, because here you can also be looking at your family karma and the patterns that are still impacting your life, and being ready to take small, tangible, realistic steps to release some of the past and embrace some of the kind of better relationships with family members. If you are a Capricorn rising, Jupiter in your 5th house is about to sextile Saturn in the 3rd, and that smells of creativity, because Jupiter in the 5th house wants to have fun. It wants to explore, enjoy, do fun things. And Saturn in the 3rd says that while you have to do the work, right? Saturn in the 3rd can bring up a need to learn something, a need to upgrade your knowledge. Maybe you need to pass some exams. Maybe you need to write, right? Like having Saturn in the 3rd can definitely be a project that requires a lot of elbow grease, a lot of work, a lot of kind of commitment. Maybe it's a book that you're writing. Maybe it's I don't know, a children's novel, or even an education type of book I can see here. But lovely energy flow between the house of creativity, romance, and the house of communication, neighborhood, siblings, writing. So either you are exchanging energy with your siblings, with your neighbors, with people around you, and starting to date them, or maybe you're getting inspired by them. You may also be starting partnerships with them. Going out to kind of hang around your hood and meet some people could be a lovely idea. Siblings could be prominent right now, whether you are starting a project with them or you are getting inspired by them, definitely some kind of positive energy there. And finally, parenthood comes to mind as well, because Jupiter in the 5th house is literally one of the most fertile times in your life, because Jupiter likes to expand things. Taurus is the sign of fertility, or actually one of the very fertile signs. And together they can make something spring and grow. But it doesn't have to be an actual child, could also be creative project child. And let me know how this resonates in the comments below. If you are an Aqua rising, Jupiter in your 4th house is about to sextile Saturn in the 2nd house. And here we have a good flow between the house of home, family, living situation and the house of money and self-worth. And let me know how this resonates in the comments below, but there's a few ways to interpret it, right? And I will do my best to cover them all, but sometimes it's not physically possible. But some things I can see here is investing into a home, getting a loan, getting a mortgage to perhaps purchase a property or move to a better location. Maybe you are starting a business from home. Maybe there's some kind of exchange between where you live and how you make money, right? Maybe you take on a role that deals with family, like families. Maybe you're becoming a person who is like, it's escaping me now, a social worker potentially, or someone who works with kids who are in need of a home, in need of protection, right? This could be a chance to start a new role, new professional role for sure. We did have the great conjunction in your first house in late 2020, so you are considering a new role in the world, right? Pluto is entering your, well, it has entered, but then it left and it's going to enter. It's basically in a process of entering your first house, so you're definitely rethinking who you are and how you show up in the world. And a couple of other ways, I think this could mean getting resources from family. Maybe you are taking on a different role in your family, kind of stepping up, becoming more of a leader, becoming more in charge of your family's finances. And last, another thing I can see happening here is separating your self-worth from your childhood traumas, or looking at healing, looking at the past and trying to either process it and make sense of it all, or see yourself as an independent individual worthy of happiness, success, and love. Because maybe you have family history where, you know, your family believed that it's impossible to be rich, for example, and you're trying to tell to yourself, I am worthy, I am successful, and I am abundant, and draw that into your life. And let me know how this resonates in the comments below. And if you are a Pisces rising, we have Jupiter in your third house, sextiling Saturn in the first. And this feels to me like a chance to own your skills, a chance to own your knowledge and your experience, and even your knowledge of a language, or your knowledge of the work that you do, or your knowledge of community, and bring that into your professional life or into your personal life. Jupiter in the third house is the time to change the way you do everyday life. It could be, maybe you're starting a business, maybe you're exploring writing, maybe you're exploring blogging. You're kind of looking at your voice and your message and your mind and the gifts that you have, and trying to figure out how to bring them into existence, how to solidify them and make them more tangible. And with Saturn in the first house, it says that it will require a lot of you. It will require you to become more focused, to become more mature, to become more grounded and organized, right? Saturn in the first house is very much the time of being an adult. And yeah, like looking at how you can achieve the things that you're dreaming about and getting more serious about that. As well as third house deals with your schedule and your everyday life. So there might be some events that are affecting your schedule and your everyday life. Maybe you're moving, maybe you are rethinking how you want to do things and what you want to surround yourself with. So it could be also a very good period to clean, or to get rid of clutter, or to reorganize your schedule, right? Think of time wasters and release anything that doesn't serve you. And let me know how this resonates in the comments below. This is it. I am excited for this transit. It's maybe not the biggest aspect between Jupiter and Saturn, but since the last one we had would have been 2021, 2022, like 2.5 years ago, I think it's a major thing to consider and talk about. Enjoy it, and let me know how you feel and what's happening in your life in the comments below. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.